So there's other, outside of Rayful, of course, there's other DC guys that are moving around and making moves and so forth. One of them was Ears the Christ, who I recently interviewed. How did you and Ears get to know each other?
I met Ears the Christ through my man, Andre Tank.
Yeah, Andre Tank Johnson.
I knew Ears as a young guy, but we started interacting through Andre, but I knew of him,
Okay, so how did you and Andre get to know each other?
Through somebody that I was serving, that was his partner. So, so I ended up meeting Andre through his initial partner.
Okay, and were you guys actually working together and doing business, or just kind of a casual relationship?
Yeah, no, he was one of my customers.
Aha, so you were basically his plug.
Yeah, you can say that. That plug word tickled me though, but you can say that.
Okay. All right. And then right around 89, you ended up introducing Alpo to Ears the Christ and Andre Tank Johnson.
Yeah, 89, April, probably about the summer 89. But I was incarcerated when it happened. My ears might have had a timeline messed up. He said something about on the streets. It didn't happen that way. I introduced it to him to Tank when I was incarcerated.
We promised so much. CB like, man, I'm gonna turn y'all into a good dude. You feel me? So we was like, we don't care. We was promised so much. Kirk like, CB like going out. So we put up on him one night. He was trying to take his lady to the movies. We had to beg him to go get some shit for us. He said, we don't sleep. We trying to get paid. We trying to get rich. So he did it. He came back, gave us the shit. The next day, he was like, man, I'm going to turn y'all on to my man. He a good man. Y'all a good man. So he introduced us to Alpo the Rat.
Alpo Martinez.
Alpo the Rat. That's what I called him. Yep.
Okay. So is this you being incarcerated over the whole Rayful Edmond sweep that was happening?
Right, yeah. I got locked up. I was indicted. I mean, we're not indicted. Was locked up April 89, for the Rayful Edmond case at that time.
Okay. So essentially, okay, I see what you're saying. So you were already off the street and you just kind of made a connection while you were locked up.
Right, yeah. Tank actually, reached out to me and say what he think about saying, doing some business with him. I said, he getting a few joints, you know what I'm saying? You could do something with him, he ain't a bad guy. And they end up, bond their relationship at that point.
Okay. So let's talk about this bust in 89.
Mm-hmm.
So this was the largest drug case in DC history, AKA the Rayful Edmond case.
Mm-hmm.
So what led up to all these indictments and arrests and everything else like that?
The FBI laid down their investigation through this lady, Ray Zanville, a white lady that Ray was dealing with, ended up working with the police. So she ended up infiltrating, but wearing a wire and, talking to his mother, talking to friends and family members, and was getting a lot of information and taking it back to the government, and they built their case around that.
Okay. So when they actually built their case, how many people were arrested?
I forgot the exact number. It was either 30 or 29 or 31, and one of those numbers.
Okay. And you were one of those 30?
Yeah.
Okay. So you get arrested, you get indicted for conspiracy, murder after the fact, the gun that was used in the murder, and with all that, you're facing 35 to life?
Exactly.
Okay. And you're how old at the time? Like 20 years old?
20. Yep. Just turned 20.
Okay. So how does a 20-year-old react to hearing 35 to life? That's more years. That's damn near twice as many years you've been alive at this point.
Yeah, it's not a good thing to hear, definitely, you know what I'm saying? But I was a different 20, not saying I was a super tough guy, but I was around a lot of older dudes as young, running errands for the trap house and different things like that. So having those conversations in that situation, it wasn't foreign to me. So I was just trying to figure out what's the best way to try to beat these people.
Okay. And I'm assuming, just like it always happens in in law enforcement, when they arrest you, they offer you, hey, listen, you're not the main guy that we're going after. We're going after Rayful. So, hey, cooperate, give us some information. We'll make that 35 turn into 1 or 2 years or get off with probation. Were you offered that in the beginning?
Right, yeah. Now that's a lot of TV shit people be saying. That don't normally happen. The government when they come and get you, the feds, they did their homework. They got their case already wrapped up. So they already know who they can ask those questions to and who they can't ask those questions to. So if they doing their investigation, they'll pinpoint, we can ask Joe Blow this, but we can't ask Hurry that. And I was a Hurry dude.
Yeah, I mean, 98% conviction rate. I mean.
Yeah, so there's a lot of Joe Blows, but there's some Hurries on there too, though. So they're going to get some help. That's why they gang up a lot of people to hope somebody break. But they don't ask, they don't bring everybody in for interrogation. I mean, trying to make them help themselves. That's a lot of TV stuff right there.
Okay, so you were never offered to cooperate?
Nah.
Okay, so, but here you are, 20 years old, facing life in prison, worst case. Did you have lawyer money at the time?
Yeah.
Okay. How much did you spend on your lawyer?
I think it was like 85 or 90.
Okay, damn near $100,000.
Yeah.
It's interesting how many people live this type of life and they get arrested, then they go and get a public defendant. You know what I'm saying? And like don't prepare for, which is often the inevitable situation of getting arrested. But you actually had put aside a good amount of money to get the best lawyer to actually protect you.
Right, yeah. Like I say, fortunately, I was raised by older cats that already been around the barn.
Okay, so they were telling you, like, just keep stacking money on the side because, you know.
Yeah. They don't actually tell you. They tell you, but you ear hustle enough and you see enough stories that be around and you get 2 + 2 is 4.
Okay, so they offer you the 35 to life. And then, you know, what happens in most cases is as you get closer and closer to the trial date, they start to kind of chip that number down and so forth, right?
No, they trying to get every day out your ass. They ain't trying to trip you down. Like you said, unless you give them some assistance or something like that, right? But you know,
well, I mean, no, in terms of plea deals, like usually, plea deal,
right? They offer you plea deals. Okay, I got you.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
So your first plea deal was how much?
My first plea that they offered me was like it was like a lesser conspiracy, keep me attached to the case. That was, I forgot what it's called. It was a lesser conspiracy. I forgot the number they called it. So that was the first joint they gave me, and I turned that one down. And I turned it down because I based on my own decision. I ain't want my other co-defendant to say you went early, you hurt us. So so I turned that one down.
Okay. Well, the murder after the fact indictment. What was that about?
Oh yeah.
And sorry. Before you actually answer that, what does that even mean? Murder after the fact. I've never even heard that before.
Right. That means if somebody kills somebody right now, and he leave and go somewhere, and he get around you, they give you the accessory after the fact to the murder. So if I kill somebody right now in this studio and go get in my car, and somebody down there with me in the car, they gonna put them to the case and say you was guilty by after the fact. And they talk use the same gun used in the case also that the person might have used.
Okay. And they try to tie you to that. So basically, they're saying that someone else killed someone and then went to go hang out with you afterwards?
Right, yeah. Well, what actually happened is someone, put that work in, and then they went all the way across town, and they end up getting in the car with me. The person who dropped them off across town caught a case 6 or 7 months ago, and he told them the whole situation from the murder all the way to where a seller went at. So that's how I got tied into the case.
Oh, okay. But it has to be more than just you go hang out with someone. Do they try to prove that after the murder they had talked to you about the murder and you knew about it and everything else like that?
No.
You see what I'm trying to say? Like I mean, because you can go get into a cab after a murder and decide the cab driver gonna get tied into it.
But you and the cab don't got no relationship. They ain't been investigating you and the cab driver. Y'all been on the same calls and hanging out and all that type of stuff.
Oh, okay. So basically, they're trying to say you're part of this murder conspiracy in some sort of way.
You gotta keep in mind, they investigate, then they trying to put the conspiracy together. You know what I'm saying? All this happened during the same timeline.
Okay. And during this time, did they give you bail or are you sitting in jail?
Nah, they didn't. No bail was in jail.
Okay, because what, you were a flight risk?
I mean, they consider all of us a flight risk just because, the nature of the case and the notoriety of it.